Hello, everyone. Patriot Focus here with a week 6 intro, and Drake Maye is now our starting quarterback for going into week 6 versus the Houston Texans. That'll be a big headline in this show today, and we'll also be discussing the week 5 matchup versus the Dolphins. And some headlines lately. Jabril Peppers, what's been happening with him, and yeah. So we lost the Dolphins 15-10. It was a We played a good game in my opinion. We fought hard. Um, liked the special teams a lot. They had a good game. Brissett didn't have a good game, which is why rookie Drake May is playing week 6. And yeah, so it'll be interesting to watch him play against the Texans. My opinions, I'm not really sure. I have mixed opinions. I'm happy that he's playing. He's getting a chance. I'm not happy that it's versus the Texans. A, because it's the one game I can't go to, and B, um, it's just I don't know. Their pass rush, their defense. I mean, they're a 4-1 team. We're a 1-4 team. That kind of just sets Drake May into his first game as a loss, unless he pulls out with a win, which would be tough. But I mean, Kevin, what do you think? Do you think it's a good idea to start Drake May versus the
Yeah,
Texans?
yeah, and then I'm gonna work backwards to what you started with earlier. So,
All right,
uh, what what are the next two games? Are they away
ja-
and then
Jaguars Jets home, or I think we're in London after this week,
and then
and then home versus the Jets. I
see?
think.
I think I'm gonna stick with what I said from the beginning. He should have started week 5. All right, it's home. It's home, right?
Yep, it's home.
London, and then we're back home with the Jets.
Yeah.
Am I right about that schedule?
Yes, you're correct.
From the beginning, I said week 5, either week 5 or wait till the end of the bye week. But
I liked that. I loved week 5. Now that I
yeah,
like week 5, week 1 or after the bye. I feel like those are your only those are your those are your 3 times to put him in the game, in my opinion, or
yeah,
start him anyway.
I'm not gonna get on this like bandwagon of you're gonna kill him with that O line. All right, really? Because what are you comparing that to? What do you have?
Yeah.
You have nothing to compare. You don't know. Okay, you don't know until you know. And what do you not know? You don't know that Drake May can extend plays with his legs way better than Jacoby Brissett. That he'll
Yeah.
figure that out a second or two sooner than Brissett. Both of those are two things that affect the O line big time. All right, now if you have a defense that knows that, are they going to put everybody up front for a blitz, or are they going to be worried that you know he can dump a pass into over to Gibson and it's and they're gone, or fake one to Gibson and go the other direction, and who's covering them?
I'm gonna interrupt you real quick. Not
So
any defense, the Texans defense.
yeah,
That's a good
no,
unit. That's a good that's a good pass rush unit, and that's like good pass coverage too. So
I
that's
realize
why I'm concerned.
I realize that, but it's also the NFL. It's all it
Yeah.
every you said that um something about it being a you said a lot of things I have to address here. That it's it'll be you didn't say a miracle, but it'll be something if he wins. But I mean, it's hard to win every game in the NFL. Okay? Yeah, and you're right, 100%. I'm on board. Texans are a good team, and they're a fun team to watch. They're one of my top 5 teams that I like to watch right now. Um, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be a blowout. You just don't know until you don't know what Drake May's going to do to some of these receivers. You don't know how much KB's going to play.
Yeah.
He's a gamer. He takes the
Which
game to
KB? I
another.
mean, Keyshawn Butte was playing a lot. For like, I don't
There's
know.
only
I know you're talking about Bourne, but like,
there's
yeah,
only one. No, there's one KB. The other guy's booty. Let's get over it, right?
he was playing.
Yeah,
Actually, on the screen, he was listed at the start as the starting lineup as one of the three receivers that they listed. It was
yeah.
Booty. It was Booty. I think Taekwon and then Demario.
I forgot about Tycon for 2 weeks, so I don't even need to talk about him. But
I actually we went to the players parking lot after the game and I saw Taekwon and my friend was like, "Hey, good game, Taekwon." I'm like, "He didn't get one snap."
it wasn't a good game.
I know.
It was. That is not what you say.
I know.
There's. I don't. Anyway, so all right, some more things to address here. Yeah, what's going to happen with Polk? You know, some of those passes that should have been to him, maybe they will be. Some of those passes that should have been right where they're supposed to be, maybe they will be too.
And Demario. I'm excited to watch him because Brissett has not been hooking up with Demario.
Because
And
he's too slow. He's way too. I'm sorry, Brissett. I've had it
yeah,
with people saying, "Oh, he's this. You know what? He's slow. He takes too long. You know, I, I've been upset the past two games because it's just boring to watch. I would
yeah,
much rather watch Drake May throw two touchdowns, uh, get 250 yards ish, have some
and two
decent runs,
interceptions.
and two interceptions.
Yeah.
Right? I'd much rather and get sacked once or twice, and be competitive in the game and lose, than watch Brissett again.
Yeah, I can't. I really just cannot stand watching them. And like, it's one thing that, like, I don't know. It's tough to watch like the logics of what he does. And we've seen Douglas open many times, and he just couldn't hook up with them. He likes dumping off, which we'll see a lot of dump offs from Drake May. On Sunday, I think. But we'll also see some good plays, good 10 plus yard plays that will keep us in the game, hopefully, and things that Jacoby Brissett wouldn't do. And I heard someone say today, it wasn't on the radio, I just overheard someone say it. Jacoby Brissett has experience. Well, he has experience, I'll give you that, but there's a difference between Jimmy Garoppolo experience, and then there's a difference between like I don't, like someone else, like I don't know, um, just a backup quarterback,
Yeah,
I
let's
guess.
put it into perspective. Exact what you're saying, right? So Brissett is a good backup quarterback. Brian Hoyer was a good backup quarterback.
Yeah,
Garoppolo is a good starting quarterback. I don't know about anymore, but
what I was getting at is more like there's he Brissett doesn't have the best experience. I mean, I think me personally, I think Brissett was in there for that long just because Alex Van Pelt. I can't stand Alex Van Pelt anymore. I want to fire him. But like
yeah, why don't you run the ball?
when you're averaging 7.6 or 7 point.
I thought it was eight something,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah. Yeah, it
But
might be around there, but like why aren't you running the ball when you have that? And Jacoby Brissett has 40 dropbacks on Sunday when Brissett and Gibson were averaging 8 yards a carry. Like what are you doing?
and let's okay, let's back up a little bit. Maybe all them trying to throw it more is why they were successful on the run, right? Okay, but there was a couple of those throws that I know AVP saw the same game we saw, and he was probably thinking, should have gone with a run. You know, he
Or
he's not
should have gone with Drake May.
he's not a fool, but I do agree with you. He's next. As far as like
You got to get out of here.
I don't even know if it's that. I don't even know what it is. I'm going to reserve that judgment for a few weeks. Let's see what he does with Drake May. Does he use Drake May's strengths? But let's get we kind of glossed over a few things. The Patriots didn't play terribly all over. You said that the special teams was good. Well, how about that 12 men on the field thing?
I saw that and I was
'Cause
thinking to myself,
That was
um,
that wasn't good at
that's
all.
yeah, that wasn't good at all. Yeah,
Oh, you
and
can't.
that gave first down too. That was a big play. That was a big play in the game, and
Yeah,
like I don't know if they scored on that drive. I think they did. I think they got a field goal, which that would have mattered.
it
And
it still took away an opportunity from the Patriots over
yes,
a
yeah,
dumb mistake. You can't make those
stupid
mistakes.
mistake. And like picking up on mistakes, that was one big mistake. Another big mistake is why is Brissett throwing it in the middle of the field with like 4 seconds left and expecting them to get another snap? That made zero sense. I mean, I'm gonna kind of get off of Brissett and all of his mistakes because that really just doesn't matter anymore. Now it kind of matters in the next guy that I'm looking at to for his job to get replaced is probably AVP, like I already mentioned.
But hold on,
But
you still had one more thing that we talked about earlier. People were arguing about Polk and whether
yeah,
it was a touchdown or whether he was out. It's the rule. Do you understand the rule?
it's it. I think it's stupid. Like I kind of understand it. What was it like? If it's in the back of the end zone and they're facing the quarterback or something. That's one thing I heard.
Yeah. So there's more. There's a little bit to it, and his heel going down was the big issue, right? If
Yeah.
his toes had stayed up and he dragged his toes and fell out of bounds, it would have been a different story.
So what's your call? Do you think it's touchdown or no?
No,
You don't.
no. I'm gonna go with the officials. Um,
All right.
but
Well, we can't see you.
but am I me
Huh?
having a issue here?
All right.
All right, am I
Anyway,
back?
yeah, there you go. Yeah, you're back.
And honestly, here's the problem. Whether people are arguing or the other, like the officials know the rules and it's reviewed, and it's not just one official looking at it. It's also New York. NFL's looking at it too, because they review all touchdowns, right? So
Yep.
it doesn't really matter what we think.
Yeah,
That's
and
honestly my final point here. So yeah, all right. I'm done with the past. Uh, let's talk Drake May and moving forward.
all right. Well, I you know what I'm gonna say this. You know what I liked about the game on Sunday is I kind of liked our O line, and I didn't think I'd be saying it, but Vidarian Lowe had a great game, zero pressures allowed from him. Um, Nick Leverett, center, he didn't. I think he was like 9 pressures on him, so um, I didn't expect him to do good just because preseason he had bad snaps where he'd be able to block, but when he could block, he didn't have good snaps. So
Who is
or
the
no,
right Who is the right
yeah,
tackle?
right tackle. I think that was.
Jake?
I think
Is
that
it
was low.
really? Who is left tackle?
Left tackle was um. Oh,
No,
was it
wasn't it
Jacobs?
Jacob? It was yeah. I thought he was right. He's left.
I don't know. I know that they moved on Wenu to what do you call it to guard.
Yeah, I mean, like this is like the keep your eye on the red ball kind of game. Like
Yeah.
it's hard to really keep track. I almost lost interest in keeping track of who's doing what. But you're right. Um, they were better. There was a couple of, I think it was, is it Jacobs? Is that his last name?
Yeah, it was DeMontre Jacobs at tackle, Varian Lowe at tackle, Mike Jordan at guard, Onwenu at guard, and left and center at Nick Leverett.
Yeah. So yeah, Jacobs, he had a couple of good moves where he
Mm-hmm.
blocked pretty at crucial moments. But Chubb wasn't there. Like, I mean, look, the Miami defense wasn't playing their A game.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna see something very different on Sunday, which is good. I think it's all good. I think
Mm-hmm.
this is exactly how you develop a team. Are they playing this season to get into the playoffs? No, they're playing to win games, and
They're playing for next season, I feel like.
they are. But they're playing to win games because you always play to win. But if they don't, really, it's okay because what they really want is to see that their players are developing. Not just. I mean, they also want to show the rest of the NFL. And my hope is that the rest of the NFL takes a look and goes, "Oh, look what's happening in New England. Look what we got. We got a couple of decent receivers. We got the run game. The O line got it together. And they only had. I mean, the defense, is coming together. Barmore, hopefully we be back next year. This could be more attractive to some of these number one receivers to go get a stud experienced receiver if they see that now's the time to get in with the Patriots on a good 2-year deal.
Devontae
Grab that.
Adams. I mean,
I know. Grab that receiver now on a good 2-year deal, and then next year have him to work. And then by the third year of Drake May's development, you're in the playoffs and you win a couple of games. I mean, ultimately, that's what these fans, including myself, want to see. They want to see him win a playoff game. It's just been too long, And
yeah.
if the formula I just laid out works, hey, great. If it works sooner, even better. Couple of concerns about Drake May is, we didn't see it with C.J. Stroud. He when the tape was out on him, it still wasn't enough for teams to overcome his talent, and I just hope it's the same situation for Drake May. I don't know that it will be, but I just hope that they can keep on developing him so that by the time there's enough tape out there, because look what happened with Mac Jones. Mac Jones just wasn't good enough to overcome the amount of tape that was out there after the first season. They're like, all right, we know what he is. In the second season, it was even easier to mess him up. By the third season, game 3 or 4, teams are just destroying him. They just know exactly.
All teams had to do was just start off good, and then that means they end off good with Mac. He just had a terrible mindset, which
So
I think he wasn't a bad quarterback. He just had a bad mindset. Like I wouldn't, if I were to give anyone on that team another chance, it'd probably be Juju after watching Monday night.
But remember, he's doing that with Patrick Mahomes. Who else was on the field? Who else is defense accounting for?
Yeah, that's true. Like Worthy and
Juju's gonna look good. I mean, you take Kendrick Bourne and stick him on that team, and he's gonna be better than Juju easily.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, and Juju's hands were just terrible at times. Like,
what? Like last night?
Like last night, and like,
I mean, come on now.
No, but like there were some terrible drops back in like training camp, and not just training camp, but like, yeah.
I mean, last night. Come on now.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, I think that Drake May will have a better mindset than Mac Jones, and I think was it you that I was talking to? I'm like, like, look how competitive he is with his brothers.
No, but yeah,
I think that matters. Like, he's got 3 brothers?
Yeah, they all played basketball a lot,
and they're all very competitive. So this for him, winning and losing, competing with with a team, being a member of a team is normal for him. It's the way his brain is wired. It's all he
Yeah.
knows. Can you
Hmm.
say the same thing about Mac Jones? No.
No.
All
Nope.
right. So
Um.
I think
Yeah.
it's gonna be
And
a very different scene for us moving forward.
yeah. Um. And then we have. I like Schooler. I know we talked about special teams a little bit already, but Schooler had a good game with the one blocked punt, one blocked kick. That probably those two plays probably kept us in that game.
And
Um,
Stevenson was good.
yeah, he also kept us in there, which he was gonna be a backup too, which is like that's
Well,
really
he
that
would
was bold of Mayo to do, but
he had to.
yeah, you can't fumble 4 times and expect to keep your job against Antonio Gibson, like someone who actually
Yeah, and do
has
you think Stevenson really cared though? I mean, he cared more about letting his team down than whether he was starting or not.
yeah.
You know, I mean, you have to do that. Otherwise, you're not going to keep your head on straight in that league. You
Hmm.
know, look at all these players that are all about themselves. They don't last. They just
Yeah.
don't. It's such a team sport. It's the ultimate team sport. Everyone has to do their job. You
Hmm.
know, and Gibson does a great job. You know, I
Yeah,
think
and
they're both very good.
yeah. I
It doesn't
I
matter
think it's
who's
a great
starting.
duo to have. And the Patriots organization has always stacked up on two pretty good pretty good running backs. But I liked Schooler. I liked Gonzo. He had a good game. I
He
think
did.
he lined up against Tyreek Hill 21 out of 29 routes and only let him up with 2 catches on 34 yards. And then he lined up on Waddle and brought him to 1 catch for 11 yards. So last time Gonzo faced Tyreek, he did a little better. He got only 1 target and 1 interception, but I mean, you're not going to expect that from anyone. So I feel like Gonzalez he makes me think, could he be the number one corner in the league? But I thought of it that day, and then I saw Patrick Surtain get a 100-yard interception. So, but I mean, I think it's between them two for the best corner in the league. The two young guys. It's just Surtain has more experience to play good. But I mean, I'm excited to watch him in
Yeah,
the
and
future.
it's about those matchups. You know, it goes back to
Yeah.
like what Bill Belichick always used to say when he talked more with the press. You know, when I was probably 20 years ago. Uh no, even 10 years ago, he talked more. I feel like with the press, but
Uh-huh.
it's about the matchups. You know, you can't look at stats and think you know a player. Well, who did they get those stats up against? And when we're talking
Hmm.
about Gonzo, you just mentioned two of the best receivers in the league, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, Tyreek Hill and Waddle are great, and they were not great against Gonzo. So,
Yeah.
I think that matters.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
Regardless of all the numbers people want to stack up, that's why I really like to just look at the matchups. Who are these people
Yeah.
playing? You know, the O line did well, but you know they didn't have their pass rushers, their A-list pass rusher. So that's why they probably did well. you know,
Hmm. Yeah.
I mean, you don't know that if you're just looking at stats.
Yeah. Yeah. How about did you see Jabril Peppers all that stuff?
I haven't. I heard about it. I have not. I have no interest in reading into it at all. I do. I do have a feeling that there's two stories, right? There's the assault story, and then there's
And then
the
there's a cocaine story.
there's the story from hit that he
Oh,
told.
his side, and then his girlfriend at the time side.
Yeah. So like, which story is true? Time
That's
will
that's for
tell.
the police to find out. What
Yeah.
we have to find out is what's this gonna look like for like now for safety? We have Del Pettis. I mean, it's gonna be exciting to watch him, but like Kyle Duggar, we didn't have him last game, and Peppers. Like I don't know, it's not like the game would have changed that much because the safety. I mean, they did have a big role, but like just because our corners did so well, they kind of made up for it, I guess.
Yeah,
But I mean, Peppers, he's a huge part of our defense, and now we have like nobody wants to be a captain anymore. That's just like a captain curse. There's Brissett, who's now on the bench, David Andrews, who's out for the season, Jabril Peppers, who's arrested, and then Jawan Bentley, who's out for the season too.
like
So like,
uh
who's a
you
real
can't
captain here?
you can't make this up. This
I
is
know.
no one could have
Um,
predicted this.
no, nobody, and like, oh, I love Peppers too. I still do. It's just I don't
Yeah.
know how much credit you can give to him. And I
Well,
guess
we
I guess
yeah
Mayo knew on that Saturday morning, but
yeah.
um
He probably had to. Um,
yeah.
yeah, but like you said, we'll let the authorities figure that out. I think there's always that chance that he gets off and he's fine.
Yeah.
That his side of the story, is the accepted objective truth. And yeah, I'm not super concerned with all that, whichever way it goes. Um, the question is, what's the depth? So like,
Yeah.
who steps up, and then who steps up to back them up when these guys are on the field too long? Because
Yeah, and
up against a good offense that wants to
yeah.
take 7 minutes to drive down the field and say, we're gonna wear these friggin' Patriots out. They want to run
Yeah.
hills. We'll show them hills. Like that's what goes on in the locker room and in the
Yeah.
bench. Let's take these boys to our hill. I mean,
Yeah.
so and not to clown the Patriots, but that's probably what goes on. So
Yeah.
I mean, if I was the other team, that's what I'd do. But we'll
Oh yeah,
see.
I'd mess with us so much.
Do you know the depth?
I know we have Pettis at safety, hope, and then we have Duggar if whenever he can play um in the future, but maybe we'll see Schooler at safety a little bit. I mean, we don't see him at the defensive side much, but I mean, whatever it takes, I guess.
He can
Um,
he can move. That's for sure.
oh yeah, yeah, he can. Like I wouldn't even mind to see him at linebacker. I bet that'd be cool.
I was actually
But
thinking about that just now. I was like, because Peppers drops down into like the linebacker area sometimes and
that's because he's a
makes
hard hitter too.
yeah makes just great tackles, just clean hard tackles. Um, I wonder what that would look like with Schooler because Schooler, he doesn't look big, but I bet you he's like dense and surprisingly strong.
Yeah,
You know.
actually, there's Jalen Hawkins too, and then one guy who just came back from IR, Marte Mapu.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yep.
right. I forgot.
Yeah, so
I
he came back.
forgot.
He had a good game.
He
It was
jumps
fun
right in
watching
there.
him. Yeah, and he was in training camp. He's so quiet. He would just go in the corner of the field and just sit like watch. It was weird.
He's probably taking it all in, so he knew
Yeah.
exactly what he was supposed to
Oh,
do.
it
So
looked like
when
it.
he gets the opportunity, he knows what to do.
Yep.
Like this is
Eh,
because this is his chance.
Yeah, and last year he got hurt. I think he was drafted last year too, right? Or was it
Right?
2022? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
he's a year two.
yeah, so we have like a couple guys that all got hurt last year on their year two, and I mean, you could say last year wasn't a good draft class, but I mean, we're gonna figure it all out this year, whether or not last year was a good draft class. Um, even even the 2 years ago, Cole Strange. I mean, I don't know when his expected time is to come back. The week 4 or week 5 has already hit, so the IR guys are eligible to return. We just don't know when they're ready. That's kind of what matters at this point. But I'm actually now that I look at that, I'm kind of comfortable in our safety position, and not too worried about that. There's definitely more things to worry about on our team than just that. Um, and one of them was penalties.
No kidding. How many was it? 11 penalties accepted or 12 accepted?
Yeah, it was definitely around there. I think I saw 11, but it was bad.
Yeah, I can't watch
Like
that again.
no, and I tried. I don't know if they showed it on TV, but they reset that game clock so much in the end of in the end of the halves. Like I think 4 plays in a row they reset the game clock to like 2 seconds later. It doesn't matter that much. It's just like come on.
I mean, it does matter in terms of officiating the game, but like whose mistake is that? I don't even understand how that all works. Like who's in charge of that?
I think I don't know. I think there's a group of officials that do that or something, and then it just goes to the scoreboards and stuff. But
Yeah,
whoever does do it, they need to get fired because they really suck at their job.
yeah, that I mean, you had one job to do. You hear a
I
whistle,
know.
hit the button. No.
Click the button. Yeah. But penalties is definitely a big problem. I don't know the exact number, but yeah. And then Kendrick Bourne, he was another guy coming off IR that one catch for 6 yards. I mean, just start off. I
Yeah,
mean, I don't love that, but he better than Tyquan Thornton with 0 snaps.
yeah. I mean, how many snaps did Bourne have? Like a couple,
Probably yeah,
couple of
he was up
drives.
there. I don't know how much it was exactly, but it wasn't bad.
And remember, Kendrick Bourne is also good at blocking too. And he's a
Yeah,
smart. He's an experienced player. When I talk about experience, there's the experience you got.
yeah.
I mean, one problem that people have talked about, and I don't really know how much of a problem it's really going to be, is that in the AVP system, the center calls out the blocking. Oh, look at you!
Look at that. Hold on. I got rid of it.
When was that?
that was on Sunday.
The
We
players'
went to the
park.
players' parking lot after the game and just camped at their cars. And
Nice. Where else you got?
I was in the middle of a picture with Pop Douglas, and I see May on the corner of my eye. I'm like, oh my god, we gotta hurry this up. And Douglas's brother was like, all right, 1, 2, 3, Pop, and we're like, Pop, oh my god, drink May.
Oh, you
So
did you didn't do that to
so
Pop, did you?
no, I did it to Gronk back in like 2017 too. And I saw Brady in that corner of my eye. But anyway, yeah, it was cool to see the guys. May was pissed though. He was like, so I saw him and I had my jersey on. Um, I was like, "What's up, Drake?" And he was like, "Hey," and then he was like, "Yeah, let's just make this quick." I'm like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
I'm like, someone
Well,
must not have been happy today.
it's probably also tough, right? He has
Yeah.
a job to do, and it's very hard to want to play and not be able to. And I
Mm,
can't imagine what he's going through, you know. But I go through it with music sometimes where I'm teaching for hours and it's just like I just want to play, like so
I know. Yeah.
it's not really the same thing, but like I get that
It's yeah.
you want and then for him, this is what he's been preparing for his probably most of his life, especially his adult life.
Yeah.
And so to be right there, you can smell the cookie, but you can't taste it. And you
Yeah.
go, what? Like, come on now.
There you
Well,
go.
he's
Yeah, that's a
gonna
good way to put it.
right, and he's gonna take a big bite on Sunday. So here we go.
Yeah. And I was like, wait, like, why are you so mad? And then I kind of put two and two together. We just lost, and
Yeah.
I saw Brissett walking out, and I just missed him by like a minute. But um, I don't know. I don't think he was too happy. So
How could he be? But let's face it. Like Brissett is a good backup quarterback. A good backup quarterback can come in and play anywhere from 2 to 4 games, while your starter is injured, right, or working through something. And maybe they win half of them and lose half of them, and that's fine.
yeah,
But that's
and
it.
maybe not just a good backup quarterback, a good teacher as well. I mean, we haven't seen too much of it, but like I don't know, maybe he can show you a little bit, which I bet he has shown Drake a little bit, but like um, that doesn't look like Alex Van Pelt is. I don't know. I just have a hate train of Alex Van Pelt.
I guess
I
you
can't,
do.
I really can't stand him anymore. Like the play calls he does, the like what he was. People were saying Mayo was the one holding Drake back, and I don't think it was. I don't think it was AVP because he kind of showed it in a couple like interviews in training camp. He kind of just slowly showed it, and there must have been a big fight between Mayo and AVP one day. That was like all right, and it was probably yesterday or today, and big fight, and I guess Mayo came down with it.
Well, Mayo was gonna come down with it no matter what because he is the boss,
Yeah,
right? I don't really even. Um, Mayo strikes me as the kind of guy who doesn't need to fight. Um, but I get what you're saying. Uh,
Elliot Wolf might be the guy to fight.
uh, no, but yeah, yeah, AVP. I'll say one thing about him, and then I think we're done with him. What does he have against motion? I mean, he
I know.
there's no window dressing. There's no like. It's I get it. It's sort of it's old school football and it can work. I mean, the Saints are sort of doing some of that right now, and
Look
it
at the
works
Chiefs. They do it
against.
almost every play.
Well, no. What I mean is the old school approach where there's
Oh,
not a lot of window dressing. I mean,
yeah.
because the Kubiak system doesn't have a lot of that necessarily, if I remember correctly. But that's still from the isn't Kubiak from I'm getting it all messed up. Is that from the Shanahan tree?
I have no clue.
I'm trying to think through all that. I knew it like a week ago, but I just the the game took my football memory away. It just wiped it clean. I went, all right, I can't even think about this for like 2 days. I didn't actually, and that's what happened. I watched the football game last night, just to remind myself what like a real team looks like. Um, it's well, what it looks like to like complete passes down the field and
Yeah.
for like everyone to
Like
run
and
the play.
watch like a 10-yard plus play. I
Yeah,
mean, didn't
no,
think I'd see that before.
and to the Patriots' credit though, they actually have a bunch of good plays. Like Gibson's had a bunch of good plays this year. Stevenson's had some good runs this year.
So we're talking about the running backs.
I know, I know. Um, but
Maybe Valerian Lois has some good blocks, but I mean,
but you're right. It's nice to see like a team that can throw the ball, 40 yards and you know, into a keyhole.
yeah.
I don't even know anyone, or to see someone like Travis Kelsey just. I feel like no matter what anyone says about him, whatever hate that goes his way, it's like I feel like he hears it because every time I hear some hate, I'm like, I don't know, I wouldn't bet against him. And then in the game, he does some stuff that goes against the hate.
Yeah.
People say he can't block, and then I saw him in a game block for almost
Yeah.
the whole quarter. I'm like, all right, I
Speaking of
guess.
block,
What?
um, Kayshawn Booty, whatever you want to call that Ramondre run, that was a big part in him. That block,
Yeah.
um, that was a good block by him. That not
Oh,
many people saw until like I think I don't know if anyone saw it, but like I don't know. He just rushed the guy to the outside, which also great run by Stevenson. I mean, but um like including the run itself, the block was also a big part of the touchdown.
yeah. Um. So I had a thought. Booty, right? Block. Um, Booty had a catch too at the end of the game, didn't he?
I think I saw that, and I didn't I didn't see it. I don't remember seeing it, but probably.
I just have Monday Night Football stuck in my head right now. I'm still thinking about like how just how much energy Travis Kelsey put into it, And like I don't really
Yeah.
care about like the Taylor Swift stuff. I don't care. People will be like, "Oh, I hate him." Well, why do you hate him? Well, because I see him everywhere. Well, put your damn phone down, all right?
Oh,
And
I
just
hate him.
why don't we just focus on like how he plays on the field? Like that's the kind of fan that I am. Like, can you stick your cleats on the in the grass or on the turf and make it happen or not? It's all I really care about. I don't care about who you having drinks with and who's your girlfriend and what you said on this podcast or if you got arrested. I don't really care about
Yeah.
any of that. I just can you dig in, get after it, and score points and win games. That's all I really care about when it comes to these players. So when I see these guys play well, and I thought he played pretty well. Um, you reminded me of something with Booty in the block. Uh, an underrated player who had a pretty good game, and not to lift up the Dolphins, but just to lift up some good football playing. Ingvold, right? The
The fullback.
Yeah, like they
Yeah.
use him so he opens up so many lanes for the running backs. And he had a good catch for a touchdown, right?
Mhm.
I mean, he's
Wait,
a
was it a
good player.
pass?
What?
Was it a pass?
Yeah, I think so. I'm
Oh.
seeing a pass,
If
but
yeah, I don't know. It was probably what do you call it? The thing that a shovel maybe, like a shovel pass or something.
yeah,
I don't know.
something like that, maybe. But like, I just remember thinking like he's one of those underrated players. He plays such a role, in that whole run game, but also like he can do whatever needs to be done. Um, got me thinking. I know we're back to talking about the run game, but like I swear, you don't have that, you have nothing, right? What
Yeah.
about Hasty? Do you think he'll
He was getting some reps. Special teams. It was for kick returner. It was Hasty and Gibson. I want to say. Um, but even just running back wise, he was getting some reps. I think. And you know what I also like to open up the game. Daniel Aquala and Anthony Jennings a sack. That was that was a quick sack.
yeah,
It was clocked in by Next Gen Stats at 2.88 seconds, which
that's
is pretty quick for an offensive tackle and a safety. So or the linebacker, sorry, but yeah, I mean with Barmore out and Keon kind of slowing down a little bit in the past game or two. Um,
well. I think
Slowing
Keon is
down with sacks anyway. He's getting some good pass rushes and pressures. He stopped that 2-point conversion that the Dolphins went for. He I guess like I think he hit Tua while he was trying to or not Tua, sorry, Huntley while he was throwing it and it no it wasn't a catch or anything.
Yeah, I wonder
But
if
speaking of
Keon.
Huntley, what were you gonna say?
Hold on. I wonder if Keon White has slowed down a little bit because he's actually doing his job. One thing that we don't always know as fans is what's the actual play? What was the play call and what was the role that some of these players were asked to play in any given situation? Godshaw seemed to feel like, but was pretty vocal about it a couple of weeks ago about defensive players freelancing, and it seemed like that was Keon White. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know for sure, but maybe in the past couple of games, it just seems like he got a talking to, like, "Hey, we're a team, and we need everybody to play their role the way it says, the way the book says so." So
Hmm.
I wonder if he was doing his job, which is what allowed some of those pressures and some of those blocks, right?
Yeah. Um.
Just one of those. I think that's probably the last thing I had about. I didn't take notes this time, so that's why it's all over the place.
Yeah.
But as you bring up stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, and then there was this,
Yeah,
and then there,
that's yeah.
so
Um, but when I never knew about Tyler Huntley. I thought it was Tyler Huntley. I didn't. I guess like it's Snoop Huntley now. Never
nope.
knew about that.
That means nothing to me. Like I
Yeah,
don't.
yeah, it really means nothing. But like, never knew he went by Snoop anymore or Snoop. But
Hey,
want
as
to do
long
a
as he's living his
brief.
best life as Snoop, I'm happy for him.
um, yeah. But do you want to do a quick intro to the Texans and Pats and wrap it up?
Yeah.
All right. Well, as we already mentioned, Drake May is starting. We've expressed our thoughts. Some good, some bad. Bad being, I can't go to the game, and anyway,
The batter about you. Hey, fair
um,
enough.
but anyway, I think Nico Collins, depending on if he's gonna be able to play, I know he's week to week right now, but if he's able to play, I don't know how much that'll affect us with Gonzo, but Gonzo and Stephon Diggs, that'll be a really good matchup to watch. And even if it's not Diggs, even if it's Nico Collins or Tank Dell that he goes on, I mean, he's going to lock either one of them up, most likely. I mean, Tank Dell would be tough, but he'd be able to do it. Tank Dell has good route running. I like Dell. He just, I don't know, Diggs and Nico Collins, Noah Brown, um, Dalton Schultz. They kind of all just take the attention off of them. But
Schultz
Texans
is the tight end, right?
tight end, yeah, he was an old Cowboys tight end,
Yeah.
and yeah, like you said, Texans are a fun team to watch. But right now, I mean, they're hurt with Nico, like I already mentioned, and Joe Mixon. We don't know if he's gonna play, but if he doesn't, they have I think it's Cam Akers that is their backup, who is a pretty good backup. So if Mixon does not play, which I'm assuming he will, but if he doesn't, it won't be too big of a deal.
Yep.
I know their defense is a little banged up as well. I don't think Derek Stingley's one of them. He might be, but I don't know. I thought he torn his ACL the first week, but maybe not. But if I were to make a prediction for this game, uh, I'm gonna say the Patriots are gonna win. Drake May pulls out the first start with the win, and that's that's a hot take there. But if he can start off well, then that's huge for him. What do you think?
Um, I think it's gonna be competitive, but I think it's
What's
gonna be
competitive though? Is competitive like trying to get our first touchdown on the board in the fourth quarter, or is it like, or is it like a
no.
close
That's
a
a
close
fair
game?
close game. That's fair. That's a fair question. Competitive to me is like every drive, both teams are having to work. They're earning their lumps or their points, and then those points are going answered. Right. So I feel like
Yeah,
that's competitive. Keeping the game within a score, um, is competitive. So I don't think that it's going to be enough to win. I want to say I want to go high because I want to see some points on the board. And this is crazy, but like I even think like a 24 to like actually I don't know how's special Texas special teams.
they have one. I think they have a good returner, but I don't really know from the top of my head now. I don't know.
Because we got a kicker and a punter that are awesome.
We have a
Right?
great punter and good kicker. Yeah,
Yeah. So and Schooler. I mean, we have some young guys making mistakes, but not the same mistake over and over. So I'm pretty confident in ours. Um, I wanted to say 20. What did I say? 24-28 Texans.
All right.
Only because
24 points.
I want to see a high scoring game.
I'd
Like
love
I
to see that. Even if we lose, even if we lose and we score up to like over 20 points, I'm fine with that. And there's a good team, and that's kind of why, all right, a quarterback's gonna get hit. We gotta face that. Every quarterback's gonna get hit. And like maybe the Texans will hit us a little more than the average team, but I don't know. They're 4-1. It'll be tough for Drake May to pull out. Drake May and the Patriots to pull out a win here. Um, I don't know. If I was Mayo or AVP, no, I'm not gonna be AVP here. If I was Mayo or whoever has that final say, which is probably Mayo,
yeah.
um, I'd probably start him next week, if anything. But if I was Mayo in week 4, I would have started him in week 5. But you got to start him at some point. You got to get him going some point in 2024, and I'm just glad that he's doing that. So can't complain too much. But what I'm excited for? I'm excited for Matt to actually come out and say it, because all we've gotten is what's his name? Not Ian Rappaport.
Schechter.
Yeah, Adam Schefter. All we've gotten is his say. So I want someone else. I want Mayo to say, just to confirm this, but I'm assuming it's true. Hopefully not, though.
So I'm gonna think about a couple of long term look fors. Meaning I'm looking for uh can they average? It'd be nice if they could average more than 15 points a game with Drake May. Can they average 17, 19 points a game with Drake May? That'd be a big improvement over what we've seen in the past few years. The
Not
other,
just Drake. I'm gonna interrupt you real quick.
yeah,
Not just Drake May, but some of the other guys that are coming back, like what we already said, Marte Mapu, and Kendrick Bourne, who's also coming back. So it's not I wouldn't say just Drake May who's coming back, or not coming back, but joining us, I guess. It won't just be him. We'll probably see more of Polk and Douglas and Osborne maybe. I mean, I know he's been really quiet, but yeah. Sorry, what were you saying?
yeah, and that's what I mean. Obviously, I'm not saying Drake may score all those points, but I mean, that the
Yeah,
offense
yeah.
averages more points per game than what they have been. They got to get closer to the 20s for the whole season at some point. You just can't have a team that wins games these days and not score enough points. That's one thing. The other thing is, you brought up all those other guys. When Duggars, Bentley, we got you got to access the depth, and okay, well those guys come up and within a few games, I think they learn a lot more than they do in training camp and all that stuff, right? They learn a lot playing these games. Some of the depth. So that depth, getting that experience, even though it's going to be painful and there's going to be some losses, I think it still makes the team stronger when those players learn from it and don't make the same mistake over and over. So I'm looking at these young guys, not with that critical eye of oh, that's a mistake you can't make. It's more are they making the same mistake over and over? Look at Stevenson.
Yeah.
He's a real pro. He had a problem with fumbles. He fixed it like a champ, right?
Yeah.
Right? And is he going to fumble again in his career? Yeah. But
Timeout.
is he going to
He didn't fumble one game.
is he going to
Well, we'll see if he fixed it next week.
is he going to cry about it and it just ruins his career? No.
No,
It's
yeah.
Andre Stevenson.
Mhm.
He's a pro. He knows what to do. And I want to know if these other guys, this lower in the depth chart, that are having to step up, if they're going to become pros too.
Yeah. That's a good point. And if you were Gerard Mayo, would you be starting Drake May right now, or would you be waiting?
Week 5. I would have done it week 5.
Yeah,
I'm, I'm not changing. I'm just
yeah,
gonna
I
stick
agree.
with that.
I
You know,
agree. If I was Mayo, I'd be starting in week 5 too. But If I'm in his position right now, and me and AVP were just fighting and fighting, like I might have thought, which probably didn't happen, but like if Mayo couldn't start in week 5, I'd probably wait until the Jets week, just because he's faced the Jets before. Maybe it's just been a drive, but he's faced the Jets before, which I don't know, maybe could give him a little of a boost, knowing what he's walking into, I guess. But yeah. Speaking of the
It,
Jets, they just fired Robert Sala, I think it is.
yeah,
Sala.
Salah. Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
remember earlier, maybe in the summer, one of the earlier podcasts, we talked about the Jets, and I said they got a great roster. The only thing I don't
Yeah.
like about the Jets is Robert Sala. I think he
Yeah.
sucks.
I actually do remember that. It was our first podcast.
Yeah, I've never liked him. Um, and then it made it worse when they were on Hard Knocks, and every other word that he says in the meetings is the F word. Okay, I get it when you swear here and there, but when you have to fill in with swears so much, I think it's because you lack substance. That's usually the
Yeah.
case. I've met a lot of really smart people that swear from time to time, but they don't fill in every other word with the F word.
Yeah.
So that usually tips me off that you don't really have as much going on as you think.
Yeah.
I think he did well as a defensive coordinator, um, but sometimes that's all you are, and he's not a head coach, is what I think.
I never knew that about him.
Yeah, so I don't know. I get kind of personal like that. On
Yeah.
the other hand, I'm the kind of person that doesn't really. I don't have a problem with Rodgers. As far as his stuff off the field, I don't really care. I don't care if he puts tapioca pudding on his eyeballs to make his head straight. I don't really care. Like it doesn't bother me one bit that he's got weird things that are people aren't they don't understand. I don't understand it either. Not my life, not my problem. When I see him on the field, he has moments of greatness. Not as much in the last game for them, but that's for another time or maybe never to talk about.
Yeah.
Because it's the Jets, and I'm not gonna forget that the Jets they suck. All right,
Yeah.
I'll never love the Jets. I'll acknowledge a talented roster, which is what makes it interesting to watch for me. But like as a Patriots fan, I hate the Jets. Hey, do you think? Do you think? Uh, do you think they might have the Belichick whatever coach for the Jets?
Have you seen the napkin story?
Wait, what's the napkin? Why do I not know the napkin story?
So it's um I'm not a total expert with this, but like I guess he was gonna get hired to the Jets back before he might have been with the Patriots at the time,
He was
but
technically
it might have been before the Patriots. And I'm gonna get it because I'm not really 100% sure.
the
Oh,
napkin
here it
story.
is. Um, I'm just gonna
Oh,
switch to my.
it was in 2000, right?
Yeah. Oh, oh, oh. Um, yeah, something like that.
Is it wasn't it like there was like the press conference for him becoming the Patriots coach, and the last press conference for the Jets was like really close, right?
I guess so. Maybe that's not that
I resign as the head coach of New.
it. Yeah.
I mean, at least he made it formal,
I guess so.
you know. Now I'm not saying that Bill Belichick should. The question is, would he? And I don't know.
You know, I don't.
I think he wants to go to the Lions or I think it's still Dallas. I still think he wants to go to Dallas.
Oh yeah, yeah. Was it the Eagles also? Were they one of the candidates of if they don't make the if they don't go far in the playoffs this year, they're going to fire their head coach. I think they've said that once or twice, and then, I mean, I think it'll be Belichick who gets that role if they do. But I mean, did you watch Monday Night Football? Did you watch the Manning cast?
I did. Yeah, I
Yeah,
loved it.
I like Archie Manning. He was funny, but
Yeah.
like I don't know. Bill looks like he likes what he's doing, and like the question, does he really want to go and be a head coach and talk to the media again like he used to? And I don't think he would be like what he used to. I think he'd actually talk to the media, and I think he'd care a little less than what he did and what he did in New England, because I think he's a whole new Belichick now. Um, Maybe that's just on the media because he doesn't have a team to defend, but like I don't know. I just find him different. He has a lot of hate for the Patriots. It seems like for what he said on the media. I remember when Drake May got drafted, he was definitely sharing his opinions, and his opinions were not similar to Mayo's opinions. He didn't he didn't like the pick, but
He didn't. Let me just jump in there though, because I remember all that stuff. Because he was with Pat McAfee when he talked about
yeah,
that.
yep.
Yeah. No. Um, I don't know that he hates the Patriots because he
Oh
also
no, he doesn't
I
hate
think
them.
because the other analysis that he said he calls it like he sees it. He just does not see Drake May as the better pick. He didn't see it that way. Now, would he have been right with a different pick? Maybe not.
I mean,
Um,
who would he have gotten?
could he be wrong? What if he went for McCarthy and look what happened to him?
Yeah,
Which
or which like Bill Belichick, he wouldn't have went quarterback. I don't think. I think he would have stuck with Brissett or like Zappy. He would have probably
who,
could have stuck. Who knows?
wait on wait
Nobody
on.
knows what he would have done. But
He could have gone
but
with Bo Nix,
yeah, Penix. No, he wouldn't go for Penix. But
but he might have gone for Bo Nix.
yeah,
We can't go through all that and really know anything, but I think he still did. He calls it like he sees it, and I don't disagree. If we don't know if Drake May is going to be all that. You look at um, what's why can't I remember his name? I feel like everyone's named Jalen these days. I can't remember. It's um, who's the Commanders quarterback?
oh, Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels, right? All right.
I
So
like him.
I knew, I mean, he has a lot more experience than Drake May, from my understanding. Like how much college football did Daniels play versus May? I think it's a
I
lot more.
think I think they were both juniors.
Really?
Oh no, Daniels might have been a senior.
Um, but like if you compare the games, um, Drake May was at 30 college games, right? How many was Daniels?
Look at that. Oh, Daniels spent 5 years at college.
Jaden Daniels has 55 games. So like
Oh,
uh
you were right.
Jaden Dan and he's got almost twice the experience.
Yeah,
So what would Drake May look like with more college experience? It might take to get what you get out of Jaden Daniels now, it might take Drake May a year and a half in the pros. It might take him
yeah,
20 games. You don't know. Or maybe 10 or
but
15 games. But
but
in the
that's
process, you'll get there. Like you'll get to that point where you have someone who's your guy for the next 10 years, which is what we're trying to do.
yeah, and that's okay because Daniels he had Malik Neighbors, he's very successful in the NFL so far. Brian Thomas, who's also pretty successful. He had guys to to rely on in college. And if we look at May, I mean, Daniels also had a great O line. He had Will Campbell. He had a couple other guys that were pretty good that Garrett Nussmeier has in LSU right now. But anyway, um, Drake May, terrible line in college, which honestly could be good because now he knows what he's getting into. Um, where Daniels, good O line, and Commanders don't have a bad O line. But anyway, um, he May was he's used to a battle line, and he never really he had Devontae Walker for a receiver, who I think eventually did go to the Steelers or something like that. But anyway, he wasn't like he didn't have a he didn't have a great team around him. So it's not like it's like Daniels had good 5 years of experience. May had played good in his 3 years of college football experience, but didn't have what Daniels had in the 5 years that Daniels did it. I guess I don't know, a lot of words that I had to say there, but um, but if you understand it, you understand it. You know?
Yeah. So, all right, we got our predictions. We got
Yeah.
we got reset. We got a new focus here.
Patriots are focused. um Yeah, we didn't get a podcast last week, so glad we got one in this week. And yeah, I'm excited for this Texans game. I feel like I say that at the end of every podcast, but
I'm
I
sure
really am though.
I'm sure there'll be another one next Tuesday because we're probably gonna have a lot to talk about after this game,
Yeah, there definitely will be a lot to talk about. So
and we'll be
um
taking notes.
and I'm gonna keep this streak going. Who are some guys? I'm gonna put you on the spot. Who are one guy that you're looking forward to watch on offense and one guy on defense?
I'm going to your world, and I'm looking at Polk.
Oh,
I'm looking at Polk because I think he's got some stuff going on. I think there's some game in him that just isn't surfacing.
yeah.
I'm gonna just add to that one more because I like to cheat. Um, I also think that Pop Douglas has a lot more. I think these guys are gonna have a lot more going on with Drake May. I don't know that it's gonna be a perfect start. I don't know that it's gonna be a perfectly clean game, but we're gonna see some flashes. I think that we just didn't see before because of Drake May. And
Yeah.
and number one, I'm focusing on Polk. I want to see him make some catches. I want to see Pop Douglas grab the ball and run past everybody. You know,
Yeah. That's yeah, those are two good ones. I mean, I'm just gonna have to be basic here and go Drake May. I mean, that's who everyone's gonna be watching this game. I know I'll be watching him, and I'm sure this will be the most viewed Patriots game all year just because Drake May is starting. And Texans, I mean, they're a pretty good team.
yeah,
So, yeah, my offensive guy is gonna have to be Drake May. But if there were to be another one, it would be Polk and Demario Douglas because watching Demario Douglas get that ball, it's really fun to watch after his like yards after catch, and he has they give him some screen passes every now and then, but like I know I like I don't know, it's fun to watch a ball 20 yards in the air. We just never saw that in Brissett, I don't think, all year. Maybe once, but like in all 5 weeks that he played, we barely saw I don't think we saw a 30-yard pass. We might have, but like
there
actually no,
was.
we did. It was Gibson. It was Gibson. Like it was a screen pass for Gibson, but like um yeah, you get the point. Like he people are saying he's a smart quarterback, but like he's so cautious that he's too cautious. But anyway, for defensive player for this game, um I'm probably gonna go with Del Pettis for safety with Peppers out. I'm assuming Peppers will be out anyway, right?
We don't know. Well,
Yeah. And then One other guy is gonna probably be Raekwon McMillan. He's been getting a lot of tackles lately. He looks kind of quiet, but he's getting a lot of tackles. So Raekwon McMillan's probably gonna be my big defensive guy, and then Drake May for offensive. Who's your defensive guy?
Marty Mapu.
I like that one.
I just want to see, like, is he gonna get in there and he's got some experience, not a lot, but like, is he gonna make a difference?
Yeah,
Um,
and
there's one more that I'll have to look at. Like, I'm always looking at Gonzo. Gonzo's
yeah,
awesome.
I was gonna say Gonzo, but like everyone's gonna be watching
Yeah,
Gonzo.
but also, Marcus Jones. I wonder if Marcus Jones becomes like the next John Jones. The guy that you can rely on. Not a bunch of flashes, but like, is a guy that knows football and can think fast and he can do a lot for such a small guy. Like he
Hmm.
can, once he gets, because he's got that speed. You know,
Yeah,
so
he has.
um,
He's one of the fastest on the team. I think it goes like Schooler, then him, and then Pop. But yeah,
so he's one that I'm watching because it's also, I feel like it's hard to watch him sometimes, um, with the way the plays have been. But yeah, him. But really, I wanted to see what's Mapu got going on. You know.
yeah. All right. Well, this was a fun podcast, and I'm just gonna say it again. I'm excited for the Texans. It'll be an interesting game, and yeah. So thanks for joining today,
Yeah,
and until
thanks
next week, I guess.